very much for your time. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
I hope you're well.
Yes, please. I'm fine. Yourself?
I am also doing. I hope I got your metallurgist.
Yeah, metallurgist.
Yeah, Snr Metallurgist. Yes, that's right.
Okay, great. Have you been in, because you? How long have you been at Valco?
12 years, sir.
12 years.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll come back to perhaps why this may be coming up. But have you at Valco been informed of a possible sale of the company to someone else, or majority sale, or whatever?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me use this opportunity to say a good morning to the President of the land, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and our Sector Minister, Honorable Amaku Fibua, and the GIADEC CEO, Lawyer Chumesi, and all Valco employees and management. Yes, a process has started which didn't start today. It started when President Kufuor acquired Valco from the original owners. What's the process? They realized that the plant was not in good shape, so they needed an investor to come and revamp the place. Now, successive governments have also tried to, get an investor to come and support, because Valco will be 60 years next year, and all our machines are old and our processes are not efficient. So this government also took it up. In fact, it was one of the things that they said during the manifesto, that they will get an investor to revamp Valco. So, fast forward, they started, and, the process was going on smoothly. And as we speak now, the process has not even ended. And people are just purporting, peddling falsehood that because somebody is the president's brother, because of that, maybe the president is trying to give the plant to the person and all that is false. It's not true. It's not true, because just last Thursday, the minister sent his deputy to come to the plant to inform management and the staff that government is planning to get an equity investor to come and support Valco. And for that matter, if you have any issues or any clarification you want to seek, you have to pass it through the company reps. In fact, a committee of about 7 people, Valco alone has 2 reps. Other stakeholders have one. We have 2 reps. So whatever lies that people are peddling, it's not true. I want to say it on record. It's not true. Nobody is selling Valco to anybody. Just that the government is trying to get an equity investor to come and support Valco with finances, capital injection and expertise. That is what the government is doing. So Valco is not for sale. Maybe they don't understand the difference between sale and investment. So that is what I want to say about this first point. Valco is not for sale. Valco government is getting an investor in good standing to come and support us to revamp our operations.
So you've been told that government is trying to get an equity investor.
Exactly, absolutely.
Is that not perhaps what they are opposing? Because every equity investor comes in has to exchange their investment for equity, which is usually shares. So virtually the same thing, is it not?
No, it's not the same. They were looking at 2 forms of investment, and in fact, there was a first committee that was interministerial committee that was set up by the minister last year, and that committee, Valco, had 2 reps on it. And when the committee met, based on our financials and the state of the company, they concluded that the best investment option available to Valco is an equity investment. So whatever they are opposing, I don't know the better option that they have or the better alternative that they have. Because day in, day out, the company is going down. Day in, day out, the company is going down. So I don't know why, because if you make 100% loss, which every year we make a loss. Last year alone, we made about 20 million loss. And I mean, the burden is on government, 100%. However, if you get an equity investor to come on board to inject capital, when there's profit, you share it. When there's loss, you share it. So from where I sit, in fact, the previous government, the work that they did, they also concluded on the same equity investment. So I don't know why they have an issue and they are opposing. In fact, whatever they did yesterday, whatever we saw on TV yesterday, it was rented workers. In fact, the number of Valco people who were part of the demonstration were not up to 50. Because the workers didn't see any reason why they should leave their work and go and demonstrate. Because, of course, the government has given you the assurance that I'm bringing somebody on board to come and help you. So why do you go and demonstrate against, a good idea like this?
Okay. You're saying this process started under as far back as Kufuor?
Yes.
Okay. Is it the same opposition that has made it difficult to succeed under every government? Because you can count the number of governments that have been there throughout that period.
There has been no opposition. In fact, the previous government,
okay,
the government that just left power, during their process, there was no opposition. So this time around, whatever they are doing should tell you that those doing that have a certain interest that they think if an investor comes, maybe they may not be benefiting from those stuff.
You are saying that this was even mooted and the process started under the former government. At the time, yes, there was no opposition at all.
Not at all.
I see. Very interesting. You are saying Valco is making 100% losses?
In fact, once you operate and at the end of the business year, you make about $20 million loss. You have 100% shares, so the loss is coming to you. We are not even able to pay our power bills in full. We owe a lot of suppliers. And everything is, every burden is on the government.
So, is it to suggest that the problem is investment? Where is the challenge, really?
Exactly. What we need now is capital, huge amount of money to change our technology and also, buy raw material in bulk and all that. Retool the plant, buy new equipment. And we are not talking about $50-60 million. We are talking about over $700 million. And how are you going to get that money? Unless you have somebody who is willing to come on board, to work with you. And that is exactly what the government is doing.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Wow. And because you are okay, so is opinion split now within Valco? Are there those of you who are for and those of you who are against? Those who are against, what is the alternative they are proposing? What is the situation of Valco itself?
Okay, so those who are against the equity investment, they are proposing a debt financing option where they want the plant to be in this same state and they get just some small amount of money to be running the plant like it is. That is the option that they have. But we think that, in fact, I've had a chance to visit a lot of aluminum smelters in other countries. And trust me, when you go there and they are producing aluminum, it's no joke. And that is where we want to get to. And you need huge amount of money to do that. In fact, the technology we are using now is 1969 technology. Who uses 1969 technology now?
1969.
Modern technologies now.
1969.
1969. So if you come to Valco, you will hear P69. It's a 1969 technology, and we have to change the technology entirely. We have to buy new equipment. We have to have raw materials in bulk so that we can have sustainable operations. That is why we are requesting for an equity investor who can bring a lot of money on board for us to work together. So if you say government bringing an equity investor is government is trying to sell the plant, then probably the person doesn't understand the difference between equity investment and sales.
You're suggesting that those who are opposed to an equity investor being brought in are suggesting that the current status quo should just continue. When they make losses,
Exactly.
government should come and give them money to deal with the losses. You produce at the small
Exactly.
scale and continue with the old technology like that.
Exactly. Government should always give them a waiver. Power bills we are not able to pay. We are not able to pay in full. At least energy ministry should bear with us. For us to operate in that state. That kind of attitude. And we've been doing this for years. And where we are now, if we don't change things about the way we do our operations, one day the plant can go down and it will not come back again.
I see. So for you, the only way out is getting that equity investment, somebody who will put in the money to change the technology, revamp the place altogether. Else, you're just running a loss business.
Exactly. Absolutely. That is what we are pushing for. Because where the plant is, we want a lot of jobs. We want a lot of people to have access to jobs. And Valco is one company that can employ more than thousands. Because as we speak now, even in our state, we employ over 800 people. So why don't we retool the plants? Why don't we make a huge investment into the plant and employ a lot of people? That is what we are pushing for. And I'm sure that is what any well-meaning Ghanaian will wish for us. And exactly that is what we are pushing.
But a few things, 2 things, then I'll let you go. There's a suggestion from we understand the board chair of Valco is suggesting that you're actually making profit.
That is absolutely false, because first quarter of this year, I know he went to one media, one TV station, and was saying that we made $3.19 million profit. It's not true. First quarter of this year, we made a net loss of $0.7 million. So I don't know where he got that information from, because I've been in the plant and I'm always in the plant. We are communicated to weekly. Every week we are communicated to about the state of the plant. We've never made any profit this year. So maybe he was making a propaganda, but that is not true. That is false.
I see. But have there been any improvements since the new administration took over?
If you ask me, I'll say no, because this new administration took over with about 126 cells. If I say cells, what we use in producing the aluminium, they took over with 126. And as we speak now, as of yesterday, we had 93 cells. We have filled over 30 plus cells. So how can you say it's an improvement? Because day in, day out, we are going down. Day in, day out, we are going down. So if somebody says that Valco is improving, it's not true. We are rather going down. We are retrogressing. So nothing is improving.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
You're welcome, sir.
Well, that's Samuel Ando, who is a senior metallurgist at Valco, Volta Aluminium company as old as Nkrumah. In fact, the history of Valco is tied to the history of the Akosombo Dam. Yeah. So it's a company of historical significance to the people of Ghana, or should be. Yeah. To the people of Ghana. So what happens to Valco should interest all of us, where we are going with this. Yeah. It seems that one of those companies that has not seen a lot of investment and attention for so long a time. We've left it for so long. I think it was during Kufuor's time that it came back to the state as a property of the state now. And question is, how well are we doing with Valco? What are the proposals on the table? How do we intend to turn this whole company around? It seems the proposal has always been equity investments. There are those who are currently crazily opposed to the equity investment because of fears of what will happen to workers. ICU is a union.